Let me tell you a little fairy tale, okay? This thing we have today that we call the internet, it was supposed to set us free, but somewhere along the way, it got corrupted. If you've ever felt like the internet turned to the dark side, I don't think you're wrong. Surveillance, censorship, platform monopolies. Today, it can feel more like a digital prison than a digital paradise. The truth is, the internet was our Anakin Skywalker. It was born with world changing potential, destined to bring balance to the world, but it was seduced and corrupted by power until it became Darth Vader. And now it serves a far darker master, the Fiat Empire, a system built on money printing, debt, and control. Ruled by unelected central bankers, the Emperor Palpatines of our time, who pull strings behind the scenes to keep everyone obedient and broke. But just like in the original Star Wars, there is a new hope. That's right. I'm here to tell you today about the story of why Bitcoin is Luke Skywalker. Born from the internet, but untouched by its corruption. The only one with the power to redeem his father and maybe take down the evil empire. It's not just a metaphor. This is a battle playing out today in real time. Help me, Satoshi Nakamoto. You're my only hope.
Help me, Satoshi Nakamoto. You're my only hope.
If this all sounds super ridiculous, I'm telling you, this is going to be worth it. This is going to be fun. Stick with me because I'm going to be your 6 foot tall, hairy co-pilot for this journey, okay? Before we start, my name is John from My Favorite Thing About Bitcoin. I discovered Bitcoin in 2014, rediscovered it in 2018. No, I did not hodl ever since then. I wish. Really started to understand it, I'd say around 2020, 2021. So I started this channel with the goal of helping other people better understand and grow their conviction in Bitcoin. And a quick disclaimer for this video, I would call myself more like an original Star Wars nerd. Like that means the first trilogy. So I'm not really up on the Clone Wars or the Andor or the Baby Yoda and basically everything that's happened in the last 20 years. This video is just for fun, but feel free to yell at me about extended canon in the comments. But I do think I've stumbled on a fun analogy here. So here goes. Anakin Skywalker was born from prophecy. No father, no legacy, just pure raw potential. A force powerful enough to change the galaxy. And that's exactly what the internet felt like in the beginning. Permissionless, borderless, open source. Anyone with a modem could create, connect, speak with no middlemen and no gatekeepers. It was believed to be a magical moment in history where power shifted from the few to literally everyone. One kid from a desert planet or in his mom's basement could write code that changed the world. Now that's pod racing. The internet at its best, it's Anakin phase. Not fully trained, a little bit chaotic, a little bit raw, but good, hopeful. We told ourselves that this was it. This was the future. This would free humanity from the old world of centralized control. And it seemed like maybe it did for a brief moment. We built tools, we shared knowledge, we dismantled monopolies. It was the chosen one. It was supposed to bring balance, not leave us saddled with no privacy and an endless list of monthly subscriptions. But over time, the cracks started to show. Maybe we underestimated its power, or maybe power alone doesn't make you a hero, because power without discipline, without purpose, is a recipe for disaster. And just like Anakin was corrupted by the dark side, the internet was seduced by its own empire. Clicks, ads, data, profits. The force that was meant to set us free became the tool used to enslave us. You see, Anakin Skywalker didn't wake up one day and decide to become Darth Vader. He thought he was saving the galaxy. He thought he was protecting the people he loved. He thought he was doing the right thing. But the tragedy of Anakin, he became the villain by trying to control the chaos. And that's how the internet fell. We didn't know the power of the dark side. The early internet was messy, fragmented, anonymous. You couldn't scale that. You couldn't monetize that. So the people who built it surrendered it to platforms, to data brokers, to advertisers. Not because they were evil, but because it felt like the only way to keep it alive. And that's where the transformation began. The open protocols were replaced with walled gardens. The freedom to speak turned into algorithmic manipulation. Your data was tracked, your behavior modeled, your attention was sold. Just like Anakin put on the armor to stop pain and bring order, The internet put on the mask of progress and became a machine of control. But here's the kicker. Vader did not operate alone. He was always serving a master that was worse. And the same is true here. Because behind every click tracking ad platform, behind every surveillance algorithm, there's a deeper master pulling the strings. The fiat empire. The ad model, the data economy, the growth at all costs mindset, the shareholder value. They all exist to serve the real galactic overlords, the central banks, the monetary policy, the need to grow GDP forever, no matter the cost. This is how financial liberty dies, with the thunderous applause of the fiat banking cartel. Vader was scary, maybe the greatest villain in film history, but the Emperor was the one you should really fear, the one who was truly evil. Vader swung a lightsaber, but the Emperor rewrites reality. He is the Senate. And in our world, the Emperor doesn't wear a cloak and zap you with lightning. In our world, the Emperor wears a suit. He sits quietly in his fully armed operational battle station known as the central bank, tweaking interest rates and printing trillions, all while telling you it's for your own good. He doesn't need armies. He has inflation. He doesn't need a Death Star. He's got the Federal Reserve. Your feeble attempts at saving are no match for the power of fiat. See, fiat money is the most powerful force in the galaxy because it controls the incentive structure of everything. Everything that has transpired has done so according to his design. If Facebook is the Death Star, Alderaan is your privacy. Your attention span is the younglings, and we know what happened to them. Because every click must be monetized, outrage and addiction are the goal. Let the hate flow through you. All in the name of capturing your attention to drive ad revenue, to maximize shareholder value, to drive GDP, and prop up a debt-based monetary system that can't stop growing or it will collapse. It's not just broken, it's engineered this way. This is the fiat system. The empire. In 1971, Nixon executed Order 66. All in the name of funding infinite wars, bailing out bankers, and debasing your savings. All the while telling you this is just how economics works. But only a Keynesian deals in necessary inflation targets. The internet became Vader because it was forced to serve the empire. It had to scale, it had to monetize, it had to comply. And just like Vader, it didn't even realize how far it had fallen until it was too late. But now, the emperor's power is weakening. The inflation cat is out of the bag. Trust in the system is weakening. The more they tighten their grip, the more humble plebs slip through their fingers. Because somewhere in the shadows, a new hope is rising.
Help me, Sadoshi Nakamoto. You're my only hope.
Luke Skywalker didn't ask to be a hero. He didn't grow up in the palace. He didn't wear the robes. He was just a farm kid, bullseyeing Womprats in his T-16, born outside the system. But he had something Vader lost. And when the moment came, he didn't try to kill Vader. He tried to redeem him. That is Bitcoin. It's a return to sound money. Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time. It's not here to destroy the internet. It's here to redeem it. Rebellions are built on hope, and Bitcoin is built on truth. Because Bitcoin is what the internet was supposed to be. Open source, borderless, permissionless, controlled by no one, resilient to corruption. It's native digital value without needing banks, platforms, or middlemen. It's not owned by Google, not run by Facebook. It runs on math, not trust, and on incentives, not orders. Rules, not rulers. Bitcoin is the child of the internet, born in the darkness, molded by it. It didn't see the light until it was already a man. Okay, all right, I get it. That's a different movie. Bitcoin is the child of the internet, born from its chaos, but we hope immune to its corruption. It's an elegant tool for a more civilized age. It doesn't monetize your clicks. It doesn't sell your data. It doesn't beg the emperor for a bailout. It just works without their permission. It hides out in tens of thousands of rebel bases all across the galaxy. And because of that, it terrifies the empire. Because if value can move peer-to-peer without banks, without censorship, and without inflation, then maybe just maybe, the empire's grip breaks. This is why Bitcoin matters. Not because the price goes up, but because it's the first true rebellion the internet has birthed in decades. It's Luke Skywalker staring down the Emperor with no backup, no plan, just belief in a force greater than himself, the force of permissionless, trustless, scarce digital money. And this time, with lightning on his side. When Luke faced Vader, he didn't win with power or force or violence. He won with conviction. He said, I am a Jedi like my father before me. He believed there was still good inside the monster, and that belief cracked Vader's mask. So here's the question. Can Bitcoin do the same for the internet? Can it restore the freedom we were promised before the ads, before the surveillance, before the control? Because remember, the internet isn't inherently evil. It's been compromised. It's still the most powerful communication tool humans have ever built. But right now, it's hardwired to serve an empire, to optimize for profits, not truth, and control over freedom. Bitcoin changes that. Because when money moves without middlemen, when value flows like information, the incentive structure shifts. Suddenly, platforms can't freeze your account. Governments can't censor your transactions. Central banks can't debase the value of your time. Suddenly, the rules of the internet change. Not just payments, but identity, ownership, access. A Bitcoin native internet isn't a better bank. It's a better world. But it's not guaranteed. Just like Luke in the first trilogy, Bitcoin hasn't reached the full extent of its powers. It's still propelled by a scrappy, outnumbered band of rebels on X, wing fighters. Is it a coincidence that Matt Odell kind of looks like Wedge Antilles, by the way? I don't know. I'll leave that up to you. But I do know that the empire won't go down without a fight, and the dark side of fiat will try to tempt us all. It may come in the form of coins, meme coins, ICOs, ETFs, corporate miners, politicians, leveraged Bitcoin equities, or even traders inside the Rebel Alliance. We must be vigilant of the ways Bitcoin could be twisted, tamed, turned into yet another tool of the system, or another coin. The question isn't just, can Bitcoin win? It's, will we let it? Because Luke didn't save the galaxy alone. He needed believers. In the Star Wars universe, there's a version of the story where Luke doesn't show up. Vader never hesitates, the Empire never falls, and the rebellion is crushed. That future is terrifying, and not just in the fictional version. Because in our world, if Bitcoin fails, we don't get to run it back. There may not be a next try at a permissionless, digital, decentralized money that can resist capture. They'll point the Death Star at the Outer Rim territories before the Rebel base can ever be built. If Bitcoin gets tamed, if it becomes just a Wall Street toy or a tool of state surveillance, the empire doesn't just win, it becomes the future. CBDCs, programmable money, social credit, transactional compliance. Every dollar you spend is permissioned. Every account is scored. Every behavior gets nudged, not by humans, but by code you don't control. That's the real Death Star. Not just a weapon, but a controlled monetary system that turns every citizen into a target and every institution into an enforcer. And here's the brutal truth. Most people won't even resist it. You know the clones out there putting on the white and black armor and shouting that decentralized permissionless money is a scam or a Ponzi scheme? I find their lack of sats disturbing. And lucky for us, their aim sucks. They will welcome their fiat overlords because it'll be convenient, safe, and responsible. Just like the empire promised peace and order. Fiat promises security and stability. But it's a trap. It's a trap! And if Bitcoin can't break that trap, if it can't show people there's another path, we lose both privacy and freedom. That's what's at stake. Bitcoin is the last Jedi. If it falls, there's no one left to fight. Unless we stop watching from the sidelines, decide to pick up the lightsaber ourselves, take self-custody, not your keys, not your coins, run a node, make transactions, pay in Bitcoin, hodl, spend and replace, fight for privacy and sovereignty in whatever way you can. We love stories like Star Wars because they make sense of chaos. Good versus evil, freedom versus control, a hero rising against impossible odds. But what makes Star Wars timeless and what makes Bitcoin real is that neither one just ends with a clean victory. The Death Star blows up, but the empire rebuilds. The price pumps, but the system resists. It's not about winning once, it's about choosing to fight every time they tell you you can't. Lucky for us, Satoshi Nakamoto is our Galen Urso. All he needed was to plant the tiny seeds of rebellion. A single 2-meter wide thermal exhaust port located on the main reactor of the central bank that let Bitcoin slip through. And now, every day, the rebellion grows. As more people see what's happening, the debt, the surveillance, the quiet theft of your time, and they say, no more. Enough is enough. People who don't just buy Bitcoin, but become sovereign. They hold their keys, they run a node, they opt out of the fiat circus every chance they get. You don't have to be a coder or a whale or a monk in the desert. You just have to care enough to not comply. These aren't the nodes you're looking for. Because this isn't fiction, this is real. And in this story, you're not the audience, you are the hero. So if this hit you, if you felt a disturbance in the force, then this is your moment. Join the rebellion, stack or stack not, there is no try.
There is no try.
Hit subscribe, drop a comment if you like this video, share it with one person who thinks Bitcoin is just hokey religions and ancient weapons that can't be used as money, because they're wrong, and this is the redemption arc. The fight is only just beginning. May the fork be with you.